My name is Sharon Gallant. I'm a high school science teacher here at Gardiner High School. And my role is the principal person, I guess, in determining an outdoor classroom for all of our freshman earth science classes. Hands-on, experiential, fun. I think that's what makes teaching anyways, regardless of what it is. Can they learn it by touching it, feeling it, actually doing what you want to teach them? Is it fun? No one wants to do anything that's not fun, really. And I think experiences are where it's at, even like in gift giving. I think that whole, like, if you can experience something with someone, those are the things that they remember, not the quick little present that you gave them or the quick little lesson that's supposed to be a present for them. So for me, part of the reason before was that there really was there was great support from my my immediate principal, vice principal, and principal, that they would let me go out and kind of do whatever, take kids fishing or go down and collect data for the alewives or a number of those things. We brought decomposing critters in and harvested eggs from turtles that had been killed. So there was always like some sort of different thing going on in my classroom, but just for my own personal, how I learn and how I watch freshmen in particular learn, they have to be part of it. So I had tried as often as I could to get them outside. Financial was a part of the big piece. My budget has been about $2,000 every year. I'm teaching for 30 years, so I'm not taking about not a whole lot of money to teach. I have on average 130 kids every year. So for me, the significant change was being able to purchase all of the material. That you could, for years I've been buying 2 pairs of binoculars so that I knew that after 10 years or 12 years I would have a whole class set of binoculars. So this funding allowed to be able to purchase things that just were not ever going to happen in a district budget. It just wasn't going to happen. And then the cabin was sort of like a bonus. So I knew I needed some sort of satellite place, and I had written for a grant before and didn't get it. When we got COVID monies, we had set aside, the district had set aside some money for an outdoor classroom, and that got spent somewhere else for a need that we needed. So I totally understood. So it wasn't really until this funding came that it really was, there was going to be a satellite building. And once all of those pieces fell in place, then the kids were on board, really in a heartbeat. We're going outside every day. The first question is, every day, we go outside, we go outside, we go outside. So I say, it's an outdoor classroom, we're going outside, we're going outside. So, incredible difference in how we've taught freshmen in the past to how we teach them now. So a school-wide change for freshmen, but also a school-wide change I also purchased bag cheers for both ends of the building so that other classes can just take their kids outside. Sit outside under a tree or sit outside on the tennis court, just get outside, get them outside. And so there is this cultural shift that's happening. Other classrooms are coming down here to hang out in the hammocks or, read in here or whatever. So it's probably been the most significant change in looking at what classrooms could look like in the entire time that I've been teaching. For me, it's not really a big change for what I think is right for kids. It just financed me not being able to say it, but to do it. Mm-hmm. We all know it's the right thing to do. We just can't afford to do it.
Mm-hmm. I was doing the math in my head, and math is not always my strongest, but 20 years times 2,000 is what, $40,000?
$40,000.
And how much did you get with the revenue?
$140,000. Yeah.
And for how many years?
In 2, and so that's kind of one of my wishes, is that I wished it really would have been a 3-year program, because the first year was such a learning curve, and writing all the curriculum, and then this year I have a number of kids that are reading and writing at a second grade level, so redoing the curriculum, redoing the work, and I really would have liked a third year to really hammer out those last pieces. I feel like it's, you know, like the same with a job, that you really need like 3 good years under your belt before you're like, okay, I really have this now. Because I didn't spend exactly all of the money, because I wanted to make sure that whatever I purchased, whatever I got, would not require any maintenance whatsoever, because I know that my $2,000 is not gonna cover any of that. So everything I bought was to be sure that it would always be here and not really require anything else.
What advice would you give teachers if they want to teach outside, or if they want to take their classes outside?
Just do it. Just do it. Ask for forgiveness after. I think I shared with you in my writing that when I initially went to our superintendent and assistant superintendent, they were not on board. I was stunned because of, 1, the amount of money, but 2, I don't come from that perspective. You know, they have that big giant, you know, overview, and they have to be, you know, safety and how does it affect this, and does it, you know, is insurance, and there was just all of those pieces that in my mind were like, it took a while to bring them to see all of the benefits and the positive pieces. I think the school board was on board right from the get-go, because they're like me, they're like, let's just try it. Like, let's just do it. And so, I would say ask for forgiveness after. I mean, obviously there's a safety piece. You gotta make sure there are some pieces that you have to have in play, but there's no reason that you can't go outside. There really isn't. Like, there's just no reason. If you can sit on a step, you can sit on a rock, you can sit on the grass, like, you know, you can get bag chairs. Like, there's no reason that you can't do what you're doing outside. Yeah, and especially in science. Like, there's so much that if you just like need to like do it. And earth science, like, why would you teach from a book? Why would you teach about the earth when it's right outside your door? Like, that was when they said, you know, we talked about earth science, like, well, what book do you want? It's like, are you kidding? I don't want a book. I just want to go outside every day. And they're like, ooh, every day it's gonna snow. It'll be raining. Yeah, I'll buy what they need. Today, you saw an example of a young lady who has not been very successful in class the last month, who was like, I want to do that, and jumped in and like talked to kids today and was so such a participant, and just like totally different. I've seen that probably a dozen times now. People that will say, I hate going outside, and then toward the end of the semester, like, hey, we're going outside. So that, for me, that's probably the biggest switch.
5 years from now, you're walking down this path at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday. What do you hope to hear, to see? What do you hope's going on?
Well, I certainly hope that that door is still open and there's still lots of really cool things that are hanging on. I hope that there are kids in here, not necessarily science kids, but there are definitely kids inside and outside. I hope that our forest is covered with like shelters and trees that they're studying, and there are soil pits everywhere, and that they are continuing to do everything that and more. My real hope is that, you know, the next person that comes in will just like elevate this even more, that it will become even better than it is now. And that they've added things. There's maybe, I don't know, some sort of slide out there that works with mechanics and physics. Like, I just hope that it just continues to grow. I think every person that's received this award for an outdoor classroom has clearly shown evidence that it is an absolute success when it comes to teaching students. And so now that we know that, not that we haven't in the past, but now that we really have some significant data to really support our claim, I think this just can't be a one-time shot. Like, that we really have to say, if we know this is right, we know this is good, then we know we have to incorporate it into education throughout the state of Maine, throughout the United States, not just really the state of Maine.